Linda takes a trip. The grand jury has a lot of questions. The Chinese have a lot of questions for the president, and we have some of our own. Mark Mooney adds up 10-digit calling. Laura pays a call to a barber who gets $1,000 tips. From Lincoln Road, I'm Amy Atkins, and these are the times. And topping the Times today, the world's worst friend, Linda Tripp. The woman who took Monica Lewinsky under her wing and then flew her right into a national scandal testified today before the grand jury for 6 hours. Linda came to the courthouse flanked by her lawyers and son and daughter. She said she was eager to testify, and why not? She spent 100 hours with Ken Starr's office rehearsing for her grand jury performance. Tripp is expected to answer questions about her claim that Monica told her she had sexual relations with the president and then lied about it under oath. Linda took a break from questioning to have lunch, but did not leave the courtroom all day. Lawyers spoke about her first day before the grand jury.
She told me, and I quote, "I find it very easy to truthfully answer the questions posed to me by the prosecutor and the grand jury."
Well, practice makes perfect. Linda is expected to be testifying for several days. The judge who threw out the Paula Jones case is throwing out the gag order, too. And she ordered most of the court records unsealed, including the president's deposition. The judge said there were so many leaks in the case, there is no reason to keep that material secret. Both sides have 10 days to appeal the decision. Bill's excellent Chinese adventure continues. It was carpe carp, seize the carp, in Shanghai, where the president pulled off feeding carp trapped in a small pond. He also sampled authentic Shanghai ice cream, both with daughter Chelsea. Earlier, Clinton answered questions on Shanghai radio. One caller asked how he stays in such wonderful shape. He said he works out and plays golf.
Favorite sport, even though it doesn't burn a lot of calories.
Obviously, the Chinese callers did not consult our consultant, Bryn's friend Schnitzy. He had a few questions for the commander-in-chief. Spider-Man or Superman? Veronica or Betty? Legs or breasts? That's chicken, of course. And who told Chelsea the facts of life? That from Schnitzy. Haven't heard much about Iraq lately, but they sure heard from us. The U.S. fired a missile their way early today. There we were, minding our own business, patrolling the no-fly zone with the Brits over southern Iraq. Suddenly, Iraqi radar locked onto 4 British jets. That is generally perceived as an intention to fire. So, an American F-16 fired a missile in response. We were aiming for an Iraqi surface-to-air missile battery. The Iraqis say it landed in a civilian reservoir, but there is always next time.
So the message is clear. We're going to continue to patrol, and anytime there is any kind of threatening act, we will take.
Iraq denies its radar tracked any Allied jet. The French don't like, and who does, Mickey Mouse's business style. Dozens of strikers protested today at Disneyland Paris. Restaurant workers joined striking technicians yesterday. The strike began 6 days ago after the parade performers walked out. They all want, and who doesn't, higher wages. Local Times, a young dog up to his old tricks. 22-year-old Dolphin running back Lawrence Phillips allegedly hit a woman again. At this Plantation nightclub early Saturday night, Phillips asked a woman to dance. When she refused, he allegedly assaulted her. Phillips has not been charged. Police are investigating. Phillips was convicted of assaulting his ex-girlfriend in college and was arrested 3 times while playing for the St. Louis Rams. The woman who gave birth on the internet is having postpartum depression of a different kind. Elizabeth Oliver turned herself in to Orange County Police today for allegedly writing bad checks. Oliver and her husband were wanted on 13 outstanding warrants. Police tracked her down after realizing she is the same woman who gave birth in cyberspace. A state law that would have made it a felony for doctors to perform partial birth abortions was supposed to go into effect today. That didn't happen. A federal judge issued a temporary injunction So late-term abortions are still legal in the state. Last year, the state legislature banned the procedure, overriding Governor Childs for the first time in 12 years. Now the ban is lifted, but the battle is far from over. The state Supreme Court still has to weigh in on the issue. Babyface Bert Hernandez asked for a speedy trial in the interest of justice today, and he got it. The disgraced city commissioner is facing two separate trials, a massive federal trial for mortgage fraud and a state case for voter fraud. Hernandez asked to start the state case soon. That would have automatically delayed the bigger federal case. That's something he's been after for a long time. But Judge Joan Leonard called his bluff. Today, she ruled that he could have not one, but two speedy trials. The voter fraud trial begins in August, and the mortgage fraud trial starts in September. Another telephone time waster. Like it's not bad enough having to tell the 411 computer what state you're calling, Florida. Oh, but it gets worse. Starting Wednesday, if you live in Miami-Dade, you must dial an area code each and every time you pick up the phone, even if you're just calling next door. Here's Mark Mooney.
They came, they saw, they ate pickled herring.
Very good.
All the way to sunrise.
Retired South Floridians from Miami to West Palm converged on Boca in impressive force. The draw, the ultimate.
Oh, but that wasn't Mark Mooney. That was Ben Mankiewicz with a story that's coming up later in the newscast. While we regroup, ahead on the times, Que pasa computer, Granny Chow's down, and a penny saved, a postal stamp earned. We'll be right back.
On this day in 1946, Miami's airport led the nation in foreign air commerce, at that time handling 42% of all air imports and exports going through U.S. air terminals.
Up, you caught me. I'm practicing 10 digits. Here's Mark Mooney.
I called Bell South today, and I heard the future.
You have reached Bell South's telecommunications voice messaging system. Please enter the 10-digit number of the person you are calling.
From now on, to phone home, even across the street, you need to dial almost as many numbers as if you were calling Alaska. How could we have run out of telephone numbers? How could it happen?
Technology.
Blame it on technology. Cell phones. Beepers. Faxes. Modems. Because of our insatiable demand for ways to reach out and touch each other, the well of available phone numbers, says Bell South, has run bone dry.
You only have 8 million combinations in each area code.
Hold on, 8 million numbers? But there's only 2 million people in all of Miami-Dade. That would be 4 phone numbers for every man, woman, and child. Clearly, they didn't give all the possible numbers away. How about a number like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll bet there isn't a number like that.
You're probably right.
Caramel, Dave Garver.
Aren't you going to play Misty for me?
It's scary to think about. But by going to 10 digits, the phone company can double its business just like that. And besides being irritating to dial 10 digits, consumer experts say the extra 2 seconds it takes costs Miami phone customers $20 a year, or an estimated $4 million in lost productivity. Nonetheless,
10-digit dialing is here. It's here to stay.
Haven't we been here before? They said in Los Angeles years ago that phone calls would be free between area codes. But they're not now, costing Angelinos who call from the Valley to Santa Monica anywhere from $50 to $100 a month. I know what's coming down the road for me as a telephone consumer, but what's in this for you?
There is no increase in any way and any rates anywhere.
Well, all right.
Is it inevitable to have long-distance rates even in Miami?
Well, look, it isn't inevitable, but it looks like it's possible. They have the technology right now to charge toll
within an existing area code.
Even if you're calling within 305,
Exactly.
they can just jack the rates up.
Exactly. The only thing that's stopping them, I think, is a revolution.
I'm up for it, man.
Okay,
this really does bother me,
Right
by the
on.
way. This is my issue.
Okay.
Anti-10 digits. I mean, it takes longer. You could just...
It does. It's annoying.
It's a time waster. Thanks. Miguel's been giving me Spanglish lessons. See, I can't even say Spanglish. There's V-Vaporub for Vicks Vapor Rub, and Paraguero, an inept motorist. And just when I figured out that Pareco, an unidentified electronic device, has no root in Spanish or English, now he tells me there's a new language to learn. It's called Cyber Spanglish.
Right? Can't you see everything changing?
Spanglish was made famous on the 1970s television hit Que Pasa USA, where sentences that started in Spanish often ended in English.
Ahora no, I'm too busy.
This linguistic soup was part of everyday life for the Peña family.
Porque hace 10 años que ella no canta. Honey, you can't even sing in the shower anymore.
But now Spanglish has gone high-tech, and for those of us who are already bilingual, trying to communicate online means having to learn a whole new language, Cyber Spanglish.
Cyber Spanglish is really a reflection of the ways that we're thinking, and I think that Miami is a center where we can have our hands on the pulse of the Americas.
According to a Miami-based research company, more Hispanics have personal computers in South Florida than in any other part of the country. 1/3 of South Florida Hispanics spend their days on the internet. In this virtual world, English rules. So Hispanics are creating their own form of geek speak.
It's going to change the way English is spoken in the US and also the way Spanish is being propagated around the country.
Here's a crash course in Cyber Spanglish. Want to stop by your local cyber park? Entra al Cyber Parque. How about surfing on Netscape? Netscape yeah. And if you're looking for a web page that contains www, it's www. 3W or wah wah wah. Is it hard to get used to? Is it?
No, it's just a thing of practice. I mean, the more you use it, the more you get used to it.
In that case, here's a few more. Want to send email? Emailame. And if you want to chat with your buddies, all you have to do is chatear. Now you're ready to surf the internet in a whole new language. Feliz surfeando or happy surfing.
And if you don't want to mangle Spanglish and speak Manglish like I do, log on to the Cyber Spanglish homepage. Using a search engine, just type in the word Cyber Spanglish. It'll cost a penny more to stay in first class. In January 1999, the Postal Service will hike up the cost of buying a first-class stamp. It'll cost 33 cents to send a letter in style. Where's the beef from? If the answer is Costco, don't eat it. Just in time for 4th of July barbecues, Costco is recalling frozen hamburgers from stores in 23 states, including Florida. They say it may be tainted with the E. coli bacteria. Yum. One woman in New York may have gotten sick from the burgers, but then again, she may have forgotten to wash her hands after handling the raw meat. Free food and old Jews, few combinations can be more dangerous. But our Ben Mankiewicz decided to brave the elements and the matzo balls.
They came, they saw, they ate pickled herring.
Very good. All the way to sunrise.
Retired South Floridians from Miami to West Palm converged on Boca in impressive force. The draw? The ultimate blue plate special. Free lunch.
And the price is right.
The grand opening of Wolfie's Rascal House in Boca drew an eclectic crowd. I swore that Harry Carey was dead, but apparently he's right here in Wolfie's.
Thank you very much. That's a compliment.
And they had eclectic tastes.
I started off with matzo ball soup.
What I had was the chopped liver salad.
I had the Reuben.
And then I had the pot roast with the latkes and some applesauce.
I had the roast chicken, which was excellent.
And then for dessert, I had delicious strawberry cheesecake.
After waiting up to 2 hours in line, you work up an appetite.
Combination for you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And the service? Forget about it. You getting some good tips?
Yeah.
Because you know, Francis, 15% of nothing is nothing. Management here at the restaurant originally expected about 3,500 people, but they've had to update their estimates. Excuse me, I'm sorry, let me just get through here if I could. Thank you very much. As I was saying, they've had to update their estimates. They now, let me slide through here if I could. Thanks very much.
Again?
They now expect about 6,000 people by the close of business. Let me step around you there, sir. I'm sorry about that. Total cost of the food for these 6,000 people, between $80,000 and $100,000. So why the food giveaway? The restaurant's new corporate owners say the idea came from the late Wolfie Cohen himself.
Wolfie did it in 1954 when he opened his first place in Miami. And we just felt it was our duty to replicate the exact thing he did.
The customers are certainly grateful. They would probably say so, but it's impolite to talk with your mouth full.
Now don't kvetch if you didn't make it for the early bird. The food giveaway lasts until 9 o'clock. Ben says, try the latkes. Next on the Times, Laura's on the loose and throwing the book at Jerry Springer. We'll be right back.
Word of the day is perfidy, a breach of loyalty, or treachery. Former White House worker Linda Tripp perfidiously bugged her own phone to tape conversations with her friend, Monica Lewinsky.
All right, here, let me cut some of this, a little bit of this, so that guy at Chromos.
La 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 Laura. Leave it to Laura to find Julio Iglesias' barber singing Beatles songs while he does stand-up comedy and juggles his blow dryer and brushes. Take it, Laura.
You know how it is when you go to the hair salon, you want full attention paid to every hair on your head, but here, they've got better things to do.
I'm a Julio Iglesias hairdresser for 20 years.
When's the last time you cut his hair?
Oh, I'm supposed to go cut his girlfriend's hair today.
You got him on the phone? Hello? Yeah, this is Douglas.
Does Julio know that you play guitar?
No, I've been cutting his hair 20 years. He doesn't know. Listen, he flew me to Spain once to cut 1/8 of an inch of his hair.
Does he tip you?
That's all he does is tip me. See, I don't really charge him.
What's the best tip that he's given you?
He's paid me like $1,000 a day.
And it's worth it just to hear you say, you're gonna give me everything.
I'm Douglas. You know me, right? The hairdresser.
What do you think about my haircut?
I think it's beautiful.
My hairdresser, Eric, thanks you.
But maybe one day you'll let me do it, you know?
I don't know.
Hey, why not?
I'm not tipping you no $1,000, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but does he play a little bass for you too?
Yeah, hi, this is Douglas. Who's this? Oh, Tia, you know me, Douglas.
We're like, you know, pop-up musicians. You never know when somebody's gonna pick up a guitar and start playing. Am I correct or not? This is the guy we were waiting for. He's the one who taught us all how to play guitar.
Some of us do work for a living.
The guitar is the most important thing. Without the Beatles, we would probably be mechanics or something, you know? We would never be hairdressers.
Yes, I'm falling, and it's calling me back again.
Oh, that was nice.
All right.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Laura just stopped by and gave me the guy's card. His name is Douglas Gonzalez. He's from the Beach Club Salon in South Miami. Go there. Jerry Springer is going after a whole new audience, people who read. Springer has reportedly signed $1 million book deal. According to today's New York Daily News, the book's title is Ringmaster and will be about the circus that is his talk show. For those who find the presumably ghost-written copy too hard to follow, there will be pictures of Jerry and the fights on his show. No word whether Oprah's book club will pick up Jerry's literary effort. Another highbrow literary effort, Playgirl, has settled a lawsuit with Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo sued the magazine back in March to prevent them from publishing nude photos of himself. DiCaprio claimed Playgirl was using the pics to promote their website as well. Lawsuits are eternity. Calvin Klein is taking Ralph Lauren to court. Calvin says the bottle for Ralph's soon-to-be-released romance fragrance is identical to his eternity. And he's not flattered by the imitation. Today, Calvin filed papers asking for an injunction to prevent romance from hitting the shelves. And Miguel, I hope the weather's better than my Spanglish.
Just a little better, not so shabby day here on South Beach, but other parts of South Florida weren't as lucky. We'll have all the details coming right up when the time returns.
Miguel and I were just commiserating on what a bad hair day it is.
I think I'm gonna need Laura's barber after all. You know, a little trim, because the wind, it's calmed down a little bit. It's not too good, and in some parts of Fort Lauderdale, it wasn't as good either. Let's go to our current conditions right now, take a look at South Florida. As you can see, there's some storms that moved in across South Florida, made their way into Broward County. Tornado was reported touchdown 2 miles northeast of Fort Lauderdale International Airport with wind gusts of up to 45 miles per hour. Our travel weather, if you're planning on heading out tomorrow, some weird conditions across the states. Dallas is still experiencing some hot, dry, sticky weather at 100 degrees. No relief in sight there. But Florida will be wet, will be extremely wet. Atlanta, partly cloudy, 93. New York, partly cloudy as well with 85. The beautiful spot across the country, Seattle, partly cloudy, but you can't beat the 70-degree weather. Across South Florida, rain all across. As you can see, the only dry spots look like they will be Tallahassee at 98 and Pensacola tomorrow at 94. Looking at the cloud coverage tonight through tomorrow morning, clouds start to build over South Florida by 7 a.m. And as we can see, by 12 noon, most of South Florida will be covered and expect some rain. By the afternoon, more clouds and more rain. Looking at the 5-day forecast, more of the same through the holiday weekend. It looks like it's going to be another wet 4th of July. Temperatures in the 90s and the lows in the 70s. Amy, back to you.
Thanks, Miguel. And mice don't have to have sex to multiply like rabbits. Scientists discovered they had created a mouse shortage by the growing number of genetically altered strains. Unlike human sperm, you can't freeze mouse sperm. So they figured out if you want long-term mouse sperm, you have to freeze dry it. They just add water. Sperm is then injected into mouse eggs as needed, and voila, lots of mice. I'm Amy Atkins, and these are the times. Good night.
Hello.
Hi, honey.
It's duck season.
It's rabbit season.
Oh, never get that right. You know,
Man.
speaking of mouse sperm,
Yes?
I have a little.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna leave some for you.
Okay, thanks.
No sweat. All right. They want to redevelop Homestead Air Force Base and turn it into an airport, endangering our environment. Possibly, we're going to talk about it tonight on Out Loud.